Welcome, Grand Marshal enthusiasts, Police Chase fans, and BeamNG players alike. My name is UsernameHere, and welcome to episode 11 of this Grand Marshal Grand Tournament. I am joined here by my co-commentator and good friend Devion, and I believe we are going to see some very amazing police chases here today. What do you think, my good friend?
Yeah, I feel like since Joint Task Force is here, after that really exciting invitational, he's going to bring some action to this round.
Indeed, yes, we are here fresh off of that second invitational in which Joint Task Force right here from Tom Clancy's The Division. I'm not sure if it's like, but there's two Division. Well, I would assume the police cards would be the same in both games. But yes, from Tom Clancy's The Division, he accomplished an amazing feat, winning 2 rounds of the invitational tournament and smashing his way into the grand tournament, doing what Belasco never could and proving that Belasco really did overstay his welcome. Yes, JTF is an extremely fierce competitor, proving that they are in it to win it, and they already have an amazing win under their belt that has garnered them a lot of followers, ladies and gentlemen. But, however, there is something to be said about age before beauty. The JTF may be a shining newcomer, but they have a lot of very fierce and stiff competition to get through if they're going to have any chance at actually seizing that points lead.
You know, the real question is, will he be able to compete and get official wins? Because obviously he's gotten the 2 wins in the Invitational, but does that mean he's able to compete with the rest of these guys?
I fully agree. The Invitational was full of a lot of inexperienced newcomers. JTF was indeed at the top of that particular pack, but now instead of cars like Maine, we don't freaking talk about Maine, instead of cars like them, he will be facing such behemoths, such juggernauts as Mississippi Police Interceptor and Transit Police as well. And on that particular note, I believe now is a good time to head over to Mississippi. Mississippi, our current points leader as well, with 8 points, winning himself some spectacular rounds, battling with Police Interceptor so many times, and finally managing to come out on top with a lot of his wins actually being seized at the beach turn. Yes, Mississippi has managed to stick through it all. Was actually a candidate for elimination in episode 2, but then smashed the runner in at the end of round number 6. So yeah, went pretty much from worst to first, I gotta say. What do you think about Mississippi's competitive arc, my good friend Devion?
You know, I think Mississippi put in the work when he needed because, like, obviously he was at risk, and then he got that amazing round at the beach turn. I forgot which round it was exactly. But yeah, when he needs to do good, he does good. That's basically what I'm saying.
Indeed. When he needs to do good, he does do good, and he has pretty much taken that beach turn for himself. He's mastered it, and the beach turn is essentially his corner of the woods. He's won on the beach turn a lot of times, and on that note, he was saved in a way by the beach turn as well. And even now, he has mastered the beach turn along with Police Interceptor, even as other cars fail to round it efficiently. Just behind him in the second place position, now the runner-up, former points leader, we have the Police Interceptor car, who held the lead for so long, had an amazing performance in the very first episode of this tournament, pretty much got out in front of the pack with 4 or 5 points, and no one was able to catch up to him until just recently. Yes, it pretty much does prove that now that we're in double digits, it is pretty much a new era of police chasing here with a new leader now that Police Interceptor has been dethroned. What do you think about that development, Devion?
Yeah, he was leading for, I think, like 10 or 9 episodes in a row, and then basically Mississippi comes in and starts getting points, and I don't think he's going to be that happy about it.
Indeed, Police Interceptor will definitely have to step up his game, but also rein in that fury, because, yeah, he held the lead for so long, no one could catch him until Mississippi finally did. Mississippi broke free from that second place spot, battled with Police Interceptor, and all of his work and effort paid off because he is now the point standing. And however, Police Interceptor, it is of course not impossible that Police Interceptor manages to pull those skills and pulls that effort back into the fray and gets back into the fray. I'm tripping over my words. Yes, it is certainly possible for Police Interceptor to claim that lead again because he is, after all, only 1 point away from regaining that points lead. In the third place position in terms of the lineup, the fourth place Titus Detroit position in terms of the point standings, we have Fairhaven City, who, I'm going to be honest here, actually, Fairhaven City was an incredible underdog with some very nice examples of his fighting spirit that finally managed to pay off for him in, I believe, episode 5 was his first point. Yeah, he's managed to stick it through, perhaps even more so than Mississippi, and garnered himself 5 points in the previous 10 episodes. However, he definitely does have a lot to learn and a lot of competition to beat, such as Transit Police, if he's going to have any chance of reaching the point standings, of reaching the top of the point standings. And yeah, I agree. And yeah, but I pretty much thought, Belasco and Fairhaven City had some quite the underdog stories, and I thought Belasco would eventually do what Fairhaven did, but unfortunately they did not, and as a result, they had to be let go from the tournament. But I'm not here to talk about Belasco. Fairhaven City is definitely a fierce competitor when he wants to be. He is still the underdog, but he proves that anyone pretty much can go from worst to first. I mean, Mississippi does prove that as well. But yes, anyone could be the winner in this tournament, and it is certainly possible that Fairhaven City could go on to win the title of champion, but they have a long way to go in this particular tournament. In the 4th place position, we have the NYPD school safety vehicle with that beautiful vector light bar and that beautiful, yes, that beautiful black and white color scheme. Yes, with 2 points under their belt, technically in last place if you don't count the cars with no points, but that's okay because they were introduced into the tournament rather recently, and they've definitely done themselves a nice job to break out and keep themselves safe from elimination. 2 points in the first 2 episodes is pretty respectable. Not quite as good as someone like, say, Police Interceptor or French National Police, but it is pretty respectable and has proven that they could be a force to be reckoned with if they continue to gain points. What do you think, my friend Evian?
Yeah, I mean, like, he came in and started getting points really quickly. Yeah, like the last round, he shoved the runner off the cliff after a very long battle, like after a bunch of guys got wrecked out.
Last round indeed. Round 30 was quite the insane one. Huge battle. A lot of cars underperformed, and school safety, even after a head-on, continued to stick it out and continued to fight until finally the runner was sent off the cliff by school safety, who was missing like a freaking 20th of his car. So yeah, school safety definitely proves that he has what it takes, but he just doesn't have the point standings in order to be considered a real threat at this time. That could change in an instant, just like the wins, though. Because yeah, anyone could win this tournament. In the 5th place position, one of our former champions from the 15-round test tournament, which was like going on a freaking year ago. Jeez, remember that? New York City Transit Police, a retired design merged into the NYPD, a very fierce competitor who waits for his times to strike. That is pretty much his police chasing doctrine, ladies and gentlemen. He waits for his time to strike, and it doesn't always pay off for him, but when it does in a very spectacular manner. He has 6 points, and he is officially in 3rd place in terms of the point standings. And however, all of that skill, all of that effort, and all of that know-how, as well as his reputation, will not be enough unless he's able to apply it. Will not be enough to beat the leaders. I'm tripping over my words again. It will not be enough to beat the leaders of Mississippi and Police Interceptor unless he is able to apply it in this game. And I truly believe that he can. He's just waiting, like I said, for his time to strike and his time to shine. If he's able to claim himself at least 1 point, he will be tied with Police Interceptor for the first time in this tournament. He will be tied for 2nd place, and he will finally manage to break out of that 3rd place position that he's been stuck on for like a while, I think, actually. In the 7th place position, the king of the style points, probably the leader of the style points, although we haven't been keeping track, Detroit Police. Wallpaper on Wheels, who has actually kind of grown on me a little bit. I wasn't really a huge fan of them at the start personally, but now they have 5 points, and they're tied with Fairhaven City, which is very respectable to be in 4th place in terms of the points lineup, as well as providing some very nice entertainment for our viewers and our commentators alike. What do you think about Detroit? What do you think about Detroit's performance in the tournament, Devion?
I feel like he could be doing better. He did score points, of course, but like, people are catching up to him. I think if school safety wins all 3 rounds here, which he might actually do because he's been pretty aggressive, he's gonna be tied with like Fairhaven and Detroit, and I think Fairhaven's kind of got the edge over Detroit, to be honest. So like, he's kind of like at risk of elimination because I can't think of anyone else to eliminate at the moment.
Detroit is at risk of elimination. That's a pretty hefty opinion coming from you, Devion, because I gotta say, I don't agree. Well, I agree with the fact that Fairhaven's got an edge on Detroit because Fairhaven has more skill, and Detroit is kind of here for the laughs and the style. 5 points is definitely a respectable points lead that he's got to show for it. However, I guess we'll have to see what happens throughout the episodes, and at the moment, it looks like our commentators are a little bit divided on the fate of Detroit. And in the final position, we have the DEP police car, Department of Environmental Protection, Preservation, one of them. Spent a lot of time in the trees, spent a lot of time around places such as South America and Southeast Asia, and is now here in the tournament. No points at the moment, but that could change, especially because they performed very respectably in the 15-round tournament. However, they could potentially be a little bit cursed by Belasco City because they are in the last place position. However, JTF has proven that starting in last place does not necessarily mean that you aren't going to get points. Just being Belasco City means you aren't going to get points. But in any event, it looks like DEP will be rounding our lineup, and we'll see if they manage to get themselves on the board here in this episode. In any event, that is it for our lineup. Start your engines, turn on your sirens, activate your lights, and fasten your seatbelts because round number 31 is about to begin. And they're off, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi in the first spot, in the first position. Police Interceptor in the second. Fairhaven City in the third. School Safety in the fourth. Transit Police in the fifth. Our amazing newcomer JTF in the sixth. Followed closely by Detroit in the seventh, as well as DEP in the last place. Position, yes. So how do you think this round is going to go, Devion?
I don't know. Like, we had some pretty unpredictable rounds recently, so I have no predictions at the moment.
Indeed, these rounds have become very unpredictable. I agree. Runner already around the cinematic part as well. So let's see if any position changes have been changed. Fairhaven, yep. Looks like JTF trying to battle with Transit Police, but sacrificed the position to Detroit.
Two positions.
As well as DEP. So JTF actually making a little bit of a rookie mistake, trying to challenge a competitor of Transit Police, but at the same time, JTF is now in last place, and statistics have shown that JTF will actually shine in last place, so who knows? Is JTF sacrificing those positions accidentally as a mistake, or are they just looking to show off here in this round?
I don't know, like, JTF did win from last place, like, twice, so maybe it's part of his strategy.
Could definitely be part of his strategy. JTF now in last place could lead them to some points. It looks like our top three competitors, as well as School Safety, are now heading around the turn. Transit Police doing the stupid mountain climbing that I hate all the time again. Here's Detroit as well, spinning out. DEP moves ahead as well. Looks like Transit will be having a nice spin. JTF hits Detroit as well. Looks like Transit will be able to recover from it and take that 7th place position. And JTF is now still in last place. However, Detroit has moved up by 1.
You know, I think School Safety's like epic drift went unappreciated.
Perhaps true. We'll have to look at the tape at a later time in order to truly appreciate School Safety. Well, I mean, you watching this on YouTube can go back at any point that you like, but we, the commentators, are not able to do so.
Yes, because this is a live sporting event.
Yes, this is a live sporting event. I'm sorry I broke the immersion, actually. Yes, you are completely watching this live. Anyway, here comes Police Interceptor over the jump. Fairhaven City in the third as well. Looks like School Safety will be in the fourth, rounding it out with that beautiful vector light. Who is in the fifth is a good question. However, it probably won't be able to be answered right now because the runner is now getting close to the beach turn. Usually nothing happens here, but Mississippi could pull something out. Well, looks like it will be a pretty standard opener for the beach turn here, ladies and gentlemen, between Mississippi Police Interceptor and Fairhaven, who overshoots it a little bit. Fairhaven hits the rock a little bit, but it looks like he might possibly, now he's going to the beach. School Safety also going to the beach as well. These two could recover, but that means, here's DEP Police in the fifth, screwing it up as well. Detroit manages to get ahead as a result of this, now moving ahead to, I believe that's the fourth, actually that's the third positions, yeah. Looks like Detroit will have a lot of ground to make up, but they're now technically in the third position, which could definitely work out for them here in the near future.
You know, like, maybe Detroit took offense to what I said, and he's trying to put in his best effort, like what Mississippi did at the beach turn on the second episode.
Detroit could be trying to pull a round 6 Mississippi here in this game, as Mississippi and Police Interceptor, once again, with Detroit actually gaining that ground pretty fast. Mississippi and Police Interceptor with Detroit as well, just trying to, chase the runner as best they can and try to close out this run as soon as they can. Here's School Safety and DEP recovering from the beach turn as well. Looks like Transit Police as well is in the back in, I believe, the 6th place position. So recovering from all of those errors Transit Police is still in the game, ladies and gentlemen, and who is still active, actually? It looks like all our cars might be active.
Yeah, I'm surprised how all the cars just still driving throughout one lap already.
I agree, it's been one lap. We've had all the standard screw-ups, such as the beach turn and the mountain that we just passed, but it looks like most of the cars, if not all of them, are actually still active with some drastic changes in positions, with Detroit in the third and Transit in the sixth. Oh, Detroit spins out! Oh, Detroit's AI glitches again and spins out and drifts when they shouldn't. That will allow school safety as well. School safety, DEP, and Transit to catch up. Looks like school safety overshoots the turn a little bit. DEP and school safety battling each other a little bit. Looks like Transit will come out on top and potentially grab a spot from DEP. No, DEP shoves Transit Police off and prevents it entirely. So Transit Police will still be in the sixth place position. Oh, there was Fairhaven as well. Fairhaven and JTF are in the 7th and 8th, respectively. Fairhaven has himself a bit of a problem at the turn at the bottom of the incline. All of the cars, for the first time in perhaps 10 or 11 episodes, are actually still active. No one has wrecked yet.
Well, we all know what's gonna happen at the beach turn. Like,
We
normally it's probably chaos here, and someone's bound to wreck.
It is extremely rare that no one wrecks after a full lap. I mean, they all have crashed, but they're still active. But with the beach turn rapidly approaching the horizon and the runner actually being there already, it's entirely possible that someone else could now wreck here.
Oh, Interceptor's going in hot.
Police Interceptor is going in a little bit hot. It looks like he rounds the corner just fine. Maybe a little wide though. Police Interceptor could be slipping a little bit. Here's Fairhaven, School Safety, Transit, JTF as well. Detroit rounds the beach turn. With DEP smashes the trees at the long turn. Looks like Transit will be able to take advantage of that and gain a position from DEP as well. DEP getting back on the track as well, but has lost the position now to Transit Police.
I'm surprised because like these cars are wiping out as usual, but then they just get back on the track perfectly fine without bumping into things and getting stuck.
That is true. It looks like the underdog spirit kind of sort of spread to everyone, because at this point it's almost like everyone is just managing to recover. They're finally learning from their mistakes and managing to recover, as Detroit is actually rapidly gaining on Police Interceptor in Mississippi. Detroit now still in the third place. Could make something unpredictable happen here. Detroit is still holding that third place position. They're actually managing to catch up to Mississippi and Police Interceptor. They could make something interesting happen this round. Ooh, Fairhaven looks like they wrecked. I think that was school safety wreck. JTF is moving ahead as well, and there's Detroit, like I said, in the third position. What do you think about their third place, Devion?
Yeah, they're definitely pulling a Mississippi here. They're putting in their work when they need to.
I agree. They're definitely putting in that work. DP is still on the track. Transit as well is still on the track. Looks like we've had a few wipeouts finally, ladies and gentlemen. And that is very unfortunate, but it's still pretty impressive that the cars managed to all complete one lap without wiping out.
Yeah, because they probably saw the invitational that you recorded, the unreleased one, and saw how bad they did, and they realized they actually had to try to drive better and not just crash into things for no reason.
That is true. The latest invitational, which by the way will be out by the time this video hits YouTube. The latest looks like Fairhaven's actually a roadblock. I just realized it. Fairhaven is showing to be a roadblock, and JTF having some problems on the beach turn as well with school safety. In addition, looks like JTF will be back on the track, and they potentially be set up for a head-on collision now as well.
Yeah, I mean, like Mississippi and Interceptor have been following them pretty well, but they haven't done anything to take him out yet.
That is true. They never do. Usually they wait for the runner to hit the beach turn and spin out. But here's Fairhaven. Looks like the runner will be heading around Fairhaven as well. Mississippi does the same thing. Police Interceptor bumps into Fairhaven, though. Problem for Police Interceptor. Runner is moving ahead. Here is the town. Is there anyone in front of the runner, such as JTF, or did they continue to move forward? Oh, JTF gets stuck again on school safety. That was a head-on collision opportunity missed. And it looks like, oh, Police Interceptor goes off the track. Police Interceptor screws up the beach turn. How about it? Police Interceptor really slipping. And as a result, Mississippi and the runner could be poised to further the lead here. Switch to the runner. JTF now back in the track. Yes, Mississippi now making contact with the runner. Hits him into the barrier, but he is now going back. Mississippi wipes out a little bit as well. The runner is now poised for a head-on collision with whoever's in the front. It's JTF, ladies and gentlemen. JTF, there's Transit Police in the back. JTF, ladies and gentlemen, could pull out that particular invitational skill. Will he get the head-on? JTF gets the head-on, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi bumps into JTF. JTF, just a spectacular performance from JTF, capitalizing on Police Interceptor's failure at the beach, capitalizing on Mississippi's pit maneuver, and JTF putting himself in last place gets in the first few minutes of the round, gets himself his first point in his first round with a head-on collision just like the Invitational.
Oh, here comes DEP.
Yes, here comes DEP as well, making it to the scene of the accident. What an incredible performance, ladies and gentlemen. JTF, a very fierce newcomer. I am absolutely stunned, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, oh, well, here comes Detroit. Anyways, yeah, JTF is just, like, really good for some reason. He dominated the Invitational from the back. He kind of started further to the back than the other cars in this round, and he gets the point.
Indeed, JTF absolutely flexing on all of the other cars, so it really goes to show that what you said could be true, Devion. It could be possible that most of our competitors did actually watch the Invitational and saw JTF's performance and decided to step up their game. And they will definitely need to do so because JTF is possibly one of the most fierce newcomers that we've ever seen in the tournament history.
And with the conclusion of that, we'll move on to other cars.
Mississippi here with a pit maneuver against the runner. It was a valiant effort, but unfortunately for him, it just opened the door for JTF to move in and strike and get that head-on collision. Very unfortunate for the points leader to make such a rookie mistake.
So yeah, Mississippi and Interceptor having a usual day, but then again, they don't score any points because they don't actually hit the runner hard enough to take him out. Like, Mississippi got a pit, I guess, which is good after following the runner, but that's not enough to get a point.
Once again, I agree. Mississippi and Police Interceptor doing their patented battle with each other, and once again, just screwing themselves over and allowing other underdog cars to get the point. It looks like some of the other cars, DEP and Detroit, freaking team starts with a D, ladies and gentlemen, has arrived at the scene of the accident. Detroit had a valiant effort holding that third place position, and DEP just kind of, I don't know, bumped into a lot of streets, who knows. But yeah, Detroit did pretty well in that episode.
Round.
I'm sorry.
In that round. Whatever, I don't care.
Transit Police, a fierce competitor, but unfortunately still hasn't really managed to master that beach turn. However, I do believe in him. Is he missing a tire? Or does it just look weird? Or is he missing a tire?
Stuck on the rock. That's basically the problem.
Alright, yeah. Transit Police is a hefty competitor, though. School Safety, also a hefty competitor, but had himself a bit of a problem here in this round. That Vector Light Bar was not able to help him, and unfortunately losing most of his structural integrity up in the front was also not able to help with this round. Police Interceptor, before mentioned, for the first time in a lot of episodes, they actually screwed up on the beach turn. Can you believe it? It's almost like they could be slipping a little bit, struggling to gain control of the fury and the concern.
Yeah, at least Mississippi over here is following the runner properly, not hitting things. But here comes Interceptor flying into the water. Not something I expected him to do. I expected him better than that, but that's what happens.
I agree. The Police Interceptor has been acing the beach turn for so long and screwed it up here, ladies and gentlemen. That could be a telling sign that Police Interceptor is slipping a little bit in the wake of his loss of the first place position. Fairhaven City served. I wonder if Fairhaven City is actually the cause of this, because they did serve as a roadblock here on the long turn, and Police Interceptor was not able to swerve around them. It's possible they weren't able to recover from that collision, and that's why they went off the beach turn.
So yeah, Fairhaven, interesting. He's like, I didn't expect him to get hit by anyone because Mississippi and the runner went through fine, but Interceptor kind of clipped him a bit and sent him all the way to here.
I agree. He was indeed clipped by Police Interceptor, as I just said. Very interesting strategy from Fairhaven. It looks like it kind of paid off and allowed JTF to get a point.
So yeah, that concludes round 31. We will reset all the cars and move on to the next round.
And welcome to the lineup for round number 32. I think for now I'm going to go ahead and skip the introduction of the lineup of cars, and we're just going to jump right into it. Start your engines, activate your sirens, turn on your lights, fasten your seatbelts, because round number 32 is about to kick off. It's already kicked off, yeah, as it spoke with. Fun fact, the runner was stopped at about almost the exact same position as he starts in. So yeah, Fairhaven in the third place position, School Safety in the fourth, Transit Police in the fifth, JTF, our champion of the Invitational, as well as that round in the sixth. What an incredible competitor as well, with Detroit and DEP running on our lineup. What do you think of JTF's early performance, Devon?
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of French police. He had really good early success.
Indeed, France National Police had himself very early success. Police interceptor and Fairhaven with a drift. School safety tries to do the same thing. School safety gets around Fairhaven. Looks like Fairhaven and transit police will almost collide with each other. JTF maneuvers through it all, but is blocked by school safety. And there's a massive pileup here, ladies and gentlemen. Caused a bit by school safety, but it looks like JTF will come out on top because JTF is now in the 5th position. It looks like Detroit, Fairhaven, Transit, and GEP are a little bit stuck now.
Yeah, I think the drift, by school safety, I believe, kind of like held back most of the cars in the back.
Indeed, and as a result, the lineup has completely changed with Transit Police now in the last place position. On one hand, could be bad. On the other hand, JTF has proven that that does not mean you're going to lose your chance of winning. School safety of all people in the 3rd place as well as a result of all that. Looks like who's that? That's JTF in the 4th. JTF being very aggressive here in this next round. Detroit in the 5th, Fairhaven in the 6th, DEP in the 7th, and Transit Police rounding it out for the 8th. Transit Police is a fierce competitor. But we've got spin outs, ladies and gentlemen. School safety and JTF battling for that 3rd place position. Looks like school safety will come on top. But here comes Detroit just absolutely debating JTF and grabbing himself a position. Fairhaven swings around wide. It looks like JTF has just decided to slow down and sacrifice all the positions he got.
I mean, like he has success from the back, so I thought maybe he's trying to do that again.
True indeed. JTF shines when he starts in the last place position. And looks like he could be sacrificing positions in order to do his best.
And also, I don't think the other cars are happy that he's getting points this early, so they try to be more aggressive around him.
Indeed, I agree. Between watching the Invitational and seeing JTF's early performance, looks like the other cars will potentially be stepping up their game in order to stop JTF from becoming an immersion contender, just like some of the other cars we've seen in the past. Runner in Mississippi around the beach. Looks like the beach interceptor will do the same thing, so he is back on his game at the moment. And who is in the 3rd place position? School safety in the 3rd place position. Detroit in the 4th as well. Here's Fairhaven in the 5th. JTF in the 6th as well. Some very nice performance here. DP and Transit in the 7th and 8th respectively. Managed to run the long straight as well, but how is the beach turn affecting these competitors now? Fairhaven goes off the beach as well. The school safety and JTF all falling victims of that beach turn. DP and Transit Police potentially doing the same thing. Yes, very unfortunate for them. Transit Police bumped JTF a little bit, and it looks like we'll have competitors here stuck at the beach turn doing what they can to move ahead. School safety looks like he gets back on the track, so well done for him. But Mississippi and Police Interceptor are still holding that position. Police Interceptor spins out on the cinematic corner of all things. Very interesting. Police Interceptor never does that. JTF moving ahead of Transit Police. What do you think? JTF with a lot of damage on his car as well. Detroit at the cinematic where DP around it, where DP moving towards the spawn with a bumper stuck on his car. Very problematic for him. And JTF moving ahead of DEP as well. Here's Transit as well. Transit moving ahead of DEP as well. So looks like DEP will be given some help here in this game. Yeah, DEP is freed from that bumper. And yeah, have to say, police in the Mississippi made contact with the runaways him because what they can police interceptor had spun out. Cinematic corner, I almost can't believe it. Mississippi with a pit here on this cliff turn. Will it equate to a potential head-on collision? It looks like it could. The runner is now coming back, but here comes Police Interceptor. Police Interceptor gets a smash on the runner, but it will not be enough to stop him. And here comes Detroit in the 3rd, misses the hit entirely. Who is going to take the points in this run? As the runner actually breaks free from all of that and moves ahead with Police Interceptor now in the 1st place for quite possibly the first time in a very long time here.
Yeah, what I've noticed actually, is that most of the better performing cars are actually further to the back, and we have school safety, he doesn't have many points yet, but he's all the way to the front. And early in this round, we had JTF doing pretty good too.
JTF doing amazing. Mississippi wipes out at the forest turn. What an interesting, shift in the balance of power, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi, our fiercest competitor, our point lead, spins out on the forest turn, something he hasn't done in many episodes. DP stuck on the shipping container. What a bit of a pathetic performance from him. But yeah, Police Interceptor is now, he has that victory in sight. He's looking to tie himself up with Mississippi again as he moves into the turn. However, due to the fact that Police Interceptor is still the fleet car, I believe he's going to have to work hard in order to get that head on, unless he's actually managing to do it. Will he get the speed here on the beach turn? Oh, please intercept going on the inside. He manages to get some contact. It looks like that is a good spin. The runner is being spun out by police interceptor, who is bringing his A game for the first time in several episodes. But here comes Detroit to try and contest. Yet there is actually no way to tell who's going to win this episode. Well, this round, ladies and gentlemen. Police interceptor is in the front for the first time. He could be stepping up his game, but Detroit is right behind him. And Mississippi is still busted over there at the forest. So who's gonna win this? Oh, but out of nowhere, DEP! None of us even saw that coming. DEP with the head on. Police interceptor pushes him into the ditch and traps of one fashion. Just out of absolutely nowhere. The police interceptor takes a victory dive with him too. What the frick? Oh, they're even destroying as well. Everyone's piling up.
Well, that was not expected. That was not what either of us expected.
That was the most unpredictable freaking ending to a run. What the frick?
So yeah, I don't know about this one because like now DEP has a point and I have no plans whatsoever.
DEP definitely has a point from that, I gotta say, but should Police Interceptor also be awarded one is the real question.
I don't know because the Police Interceptor wasn't the one who hit, well, yes, he was the one who hit him in, but the car died like before he hit him in.
So yeah, DEP Police definitely gets a point, but let's see. Round 32, DEP comes out of absolutely nowhere and smashes the runner for a point, and Police Interceptor puts him in the ditch. And does he also get a point, or does he not? That is a real question. I like Transit Police just overlooking the carnage as well. It's a nice angle.
I don't believe Interceptor should get that point. Like, he did chase him pretty well at the end and hit him a couple of times, but DEP had a head-on collision, killed the runner, and all Interceptor did was like push a dead car into a cliff.
I think I have to agree here. I'm not the most knowledgeable BeamNG.drive player, but Devion is, and if it is indeed true that the runner was already gone when DEP smashed him, then I don't know if Police Interceptor should be credited with that stop.
So yeah, I guess DEP gets the point here, which a surprising turn of events, actually.
That is, there are plot twists in actual books written by novelists that were less intense than freaking DEP coming out of nowhere. DEP of all people, who, by the way, starts in the last place position, like legitimately, like Glasgow, got themselves a point in one of their first episodes.
You know, I thought it was a battle between Detroit and Interceptor, but no, DEP comes in. No one knew how he got there, but he came here and got the point.
Detroit and Police Interceptor were fighting to seize the runner, and then all of a sudden, Player 3 has entered the game.
So, yeah, who else is here? We got Fairhaven.
Fairhaven of all people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was briefly looking up at the ceiling because I was so, like, shocked by the end of that round. I didn't actually see them go in the ditch. I just, like, looked back, and all of a sudden, they were falling in the ditch already. So, yeah, I personally didn't see where they came from, but yeah, they did come from nowhere.
Oh, they came from over there, where Transit Police in.
Alright, they came from over there and then just, yeah, got in the ditch, got about it, yeah. Fairhaven was a pretty nice performance, but like, yeah. Jeez. Transit Police as well arrived here. Very, very nice job for them. Unfortunately, not really enough to get a point, but yeah. School safety got busted on the beach turn a little bit. Very unfortunate for them. And it sounds like there's another car around here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, JTF is in the drink. Very unfortunate for him, but at least the siren still works.
Yeah, but he got damaged pretty early on, so I think it's fair, because, like, he couldn't have done anything.
That is true. He did take a lot of damage early on. It's very unfortunate for him. And Mississippi, who's actually the point leader, kind of falling apart a little bit with Interceptor. It's almost like having a new leader has really shifted the balance of power. And these two kings that we've seen battle it out for several episodes are now kind of fluttering a little bit. Yeah, it looks like Mississippi and Police Interceptor are a little bit tired of being the points leaders, so it looks like they've just decided to go ahead and step down their game almost. Like, who knows? JTF came in with the point. DEP in last place came in with the point, something Velasco couldn't do in 9 episodes. Just an incredible round of the, like, like a round of the last place contenders today, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of really interesting, and there's no telling, speaking of that, and there is no way of telling what's going to happen in the next round.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, it's just gonna be a regular match for Mississippi and Interceptor fighting against each other at the front, but no, Mississippi wipes out Interceptor's the fleet car, of course, which pushes the runner to drive even harder, and head-on collide with the DEP.
Indeed, DEP comes out of nowhere, and on that note, I wonder if the fleet car should be changed, because we did that because Police Interceptor is not necessarily. Oh yeah, okay, I see now. Because yeah, the Police Interceptor was the fleet car because he's in the lead, but now it's Mississippi, so I don't know if something should be done about that.
I mean, Interceptor was actually gonna get the point if DEP wasn't there. I believe he would have. I didn't believe Detroit wasn't gonna get the point.
That is true. Police Interceptor was likely poised to get the point, and I think if Mississippi becomes the fleet car, it could be possible that the runner drives off for quite a while, and it could result in some pretty long rounds until Mississippi wipes out.
And there's only one way to find out, and that is by going on to round 33. All the cars will now be reset, and we will move on to the next round. Okay, all the cars have been reset, and we will now go through all the cars that are in the tournament.
Yes, Mississippi State Police Car in the first place position, both in terms of the points and the lineup, but had a very unfortunate set of events those previous couple of episodes, doing some things that he doesn't normally do, such as wiping out on the forest turn of all things. What do you think, my friend Devian?
Yeah, I didn't expect him to do that. It's not really a Mississippi State Trooper thing to do. He's mostly supposed to be a nice guy getting points all the time. Interceptor's the bad guy here, by the way, according to the lore. But yeah,
it's a true good cop, bad cop experience. Mississippi's the good cop, Police Interceptor's the bad cop.
Yeah, and they're both like pretty equal with each other, but just not something I expected him to do. Just like how I didn't expect Interceptor to fly off into the water there on the first round here in this episode.
True indeed. These two champions, these two juggernauts, you can zoom out the camera by the way. These two champions, these two juggernauts have really had themselves an interesting pair of episodes. It looks like the balance of power has really shifted, and it could have really gotten to them psychologically. They used to be all full and confident and ready, and now they've just been shaken up a little bit, and it looks like some of our lesser competitors, such as the JTF car and DEP, in fact, the freaking newcomers, it looks like they've been able to capitalize on this psychological rift that has occurred with Mississippi and Police Interceptor. Yes, in the second place position, as I mentioned, Police Interceptor, former champion of this tournament, held the lead for so long and has kind of been slipping a little bit in that first round of this episode. But then in the second round, I almost said episode because I mixed it up a lot. In the second round of this episode, they managed to bring back some of that spirit from episode 1. Actually spun the runner into the ditch. However, unfortunately for them, it was not counted as a point because DEP is the one that actually eliminated the runner and stopped his engine. So Police Interceptor could potentially be feeling a lot of fury from that, could be driven to possibly tie things up again, or he could slip even further as a result of it. Either way, he definitely has his work cut out for him here in this final round. All right, HUD has now been fixed. It says round 33, and speaking of threes, in our third place position, we have Fairhaven City, who has 5 points to his name. Hasn't really been able to grab up a sixth one and tie himself up with Transit Police recently. Has had himself not the best set of episodes, but I truly believe in him personally, and I believe that he can still continue to channel that underdog spirit. After all, he has a lot of experience battling with Police Interceptor in Mississippi, and if those two are falling off of their game, this could be Fairhaven City's time to catch up. It would be an actually amazing spectacle, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like here we have NYPD School Safety here as well in the fourth place position with 2 points to their name. Very nice competitor. Very amazing couple of wins they have under their belt with a very nice head-on and a very nice fierce battle in order to stop the runner at the cinematic corner. However, that vector light bar and that beautiful black color scheme hasn't really been able to allow them to overcome some of our newcomers here in this particular game. So this could be their round to shine. They could grab up a third point and start to catch up to Fairhaven and Detroit, or they might just keep with 2 points. Who knows? There's no way. There's only one way to find out. In the 5th position, one of our fiercest competitors, but the one that is still holding in, I think, yeah, third place. Third place in terms of the point standings, 5th place in terms of the lineup, Transit Police. Very fierce competitor, has himself a lot of bad luck usually, but proves that he can get points and proves that he can face and defeat such fierce competitors as Police Interceptor and Mississippi. And it looks like with those two police cars that I mentioned kind of crumbling in terms of their police chasing abilities, it looks like this could be Transit Police's time to step up to the plate and tie himself up with Police Intercept in order to contest that second place position. What would you think about that, Devion?
I feel like Transit Police can be doing better in this round. He has been mostly in the back so far. Hasn't really gotten any points yet so far. But yeah, maybe in round 33 he'll be a little bit more aggressive and gets in front and score a 7th point.
I fully agree. Round 33 could be Transit Police's time to shine, but yeah, he does have to make sure he brings his A game here in this game, and I do believe he has the skill. He just hasn't really been applying it very often. In our 6th place position, we have JTF, an absolutely bombastic newcomer, winning the Invitational with some amazing head-on collisions despite being in the back, and proving he can do it again well in the back with starting in the 6th place position as well. We have JTF with 1 point, yeah.
Yeah, JTF, he is like, I don't know, he might be the next interceptor here, just scoring points left and right. He might take the lead eventually, but he's been doing good so far.
JTF has been having a very nice time here in this game. I fully agree. JTF could potentially be a new threat here in this game, considering his ability to turn last place into first place. That is a very good strategy to have, especially in a competition like this. And in the 7th place position, we have Detroit Police still holding with 5 points, still with the style points lead as well. And still with the wallpaper on his car, yeah. Has those 5 points, as I said. Definitely battles with Police Interceptor in Mississippi a lot, but doesn't really manage to get points out of the deal. So very unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I think he's on the chopping block still, because I can't think of anyone else to eliminate at this moment. But of course, we will have the rounds to figure that out.
I can definitely agree with that, Devion. It's that time of the episode where we start thinking about a car to eliminate, and I have to say, we absolutely cannot eliminate JTF or DEP. I'm thinking maybe Detroit or potentially School Safety.
School Safety, I don't know about that. He's been pretty aggressive and scored 2 points already.
Yeah, I know he has been pretty aggressive, so pretty much there's just no one to eliminate, honestly, if we're being completely honest here.
But of course, we have to watch the round and see what happens. That's the whole point of it.
I fully agree. We do indeed have to watch round 33, because it's possible someone could screw up so spectacularly that we just have to eliminate them, yeah. And over in our final position, freaking proving that Velasco is a bad competitor, DEP with the head-on collision and with a victory and a point under his belt, despite, like I said, being the last place position. Doing what Velasco never could, and, doing what Velasco never could, and pretty much also taking a page from Transit Police's playbook, because, yeah, DEP is, once again, from that old 15-round tournament, he's definitely bringing back some of his game and proving that he is a competitor to be reckoned with. And it looks like that will do it for our lineup, so it's time for round number 33, ladies and gentlemen. Activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts, because round number 33, the final round of this episode, is about to begin.
Well, this could be a very interesting round, because we have no idea who to eliminate, so it's all going to be depending on how they perform here.
This is definitely a very interesting round, I fully agree, because we have no one really to eliminate. I can think of several cars, but yeah, there's like almost potentially no one to eliminate. I'm almost actually dreading the end, because who knows? I'm not completely sure what could happen. There's just no way to. This has been an extremely unpredictable episode, ladies and gentlemen. Mississippi Police Interceptor Fairhaven having himself a spin. Looks like School Safety will potentially be getting around there, but now Fairhaven blocks it. It looks like Transit will be potentially moving ahead. No, Fairhaven keeps that 5th place position. It looks like School Safety will be possibly getting ahead of Transit. Yes, Transit is still in that 5th place position. It looks like JTF as well in the 6th at the moment, with Detroit and DP running out 7th and 8th.
Yeah, the car that's gonna be eliminated, it's all gonna be down to round 33, basically.
It is pretty much, yes, all going to be down to round 33. Detroit is on the chopping block. school safety is on the chopping block. I'm not really sure of anything else. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty much make it or break it time, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a very intense round with some very fierce consequences for the tournament. Ooh, Fairhaven spins out, unfortunately, but it looks like he will manage to recover from it. Yes, school safety in that fourth. Looks like Transit Police will get around it. And it looks like Fairhaven and Transit Police are now in the third and fourth, respectively. JTF gets blocked by school safety. Detroit moves around JTF as well. Detroit battles with school safety as well. Here comes DEP and JTF in the seventh and eighth, respectively. And it looks like Fairhaven and Transit will now be in third and fourth, trying to contest with Police Interceptor and Mississippi.
Yeah, it's actually this runner has a pretty big gap on like Mississippi and Interceptor, which is not exactly that common.
That is true. That doesn't usually happen. The water is actually quite a little bit far away over on this long straight. Mississippi's got a... Oh, actually, that's not that far. But yeah, Mississippi and Police definitely have a little bit of ground to make up if they're going to manage to get the runner. And yes, the runner is now moving into the town, ladies and gentlemen, followed closely by Mississippi and Police Interceptor as well, heading in to try and get themselves points. But Fairhaven and Transit Police are most likely not far behind. And if the previous rounds or the previous episodes are anything to go off of, no, it looks like Police Interceptor and Mississippi will be riding out the beach turn just fine. How will Fairhaven and Transit Police fare though? Here comes Fairhaven as well with the beach turn. Looks like he will overshoot it once again. Unfortunately for him, loses bumper, but that's just a bit of dead weight. Here comes Transit Police. Looks like Transit Police might get it. No, he doesn't. Very unfortunate for him. Transit and Fairhaven all bumping each other a little bit. Unfortunate for them. And here comes Detroit and school safety as well, with DEP moving through the town. In a different place, Detroit rides just fine. JTF moves off and bumps with Fairhaven. Very unfortunate for them. And where's school safety? Were they in the water, actually?
Looks like we got a big graveyard of cars here, actually. Tons of cars got wiped out.
Cars, it's like all five of the other cars, pretty much. And, yeah, school safety is a little bit in the water at the moment. Very unfortunate for him. Fairhaven is on the rocks a little bit as well. This is a very run, particularly middle down. The runner now moving around the bus turn, which is still called the bus turn, even though our partnership with Points of Market that it looks like school safety is probably hydrolocked. And Transit Police and DP looks like he had himself a weird turn on that particular turn. Looks like Detroit moving around as well. Transit and Fairhaven looks like they've managed to recover from that particular incident at the beach turn, and they will be trying to move ahead and do whatever they possibly can in order to get that point for themselves.
So yeah, it looks like just a typical round, like surprising compared to the last two. Now it's just Interceptor Mississippi fighting it out for elite, which is pretty normal.
Indeed, as well. There's Detroit. Looks like in the third place position potentially as well. Detroit starts in sixth. Oh wait, no, sixth in JTF. Detroit starts in seventh, but they somehow manage to get in third pretty consistently here as JTF and DEP move around that particular bus turn. Yeah. In one of the most unpredictable episodes we've had, it looks like, Transit and DEP grew. Transit going outside it a little bit. Oh, hits the trees a little bit. Unfortunate for him. Transit Police, though, potentially could still be in the game. A little bit busted up. Very problematic for him. Looks like the runner now moving around the long straight. And yeah, I gotta say, this episode being so unpredictable, it decided to just throw us a curveball by having a relatively normal round in this final round, and then round number 33. Who knows?
Well, here comes the beach turn up ahead, and you know what happens there.
Here comes the beach turn once again. Will the runner spin out? Looks like this is his time to spin out. Yes, it could potentially mean a head-on, but here comes Mississippi with that contact. Mississippi, and the runner is now completely open to move ahead, and it looks like someone could be getting head-on. Who is here? It's Detroit of all people. Will they get the head-on? They just barely missed the head-on. They clipped the runner.
But the runner's dead. He got the runner.
Oh, it looks like maybe the runner's still going. Oh, wait, no, not still going. It looks like he's actually dead, yeah. Looks like his drive shaft is a bit busted. Detroit turning that third place position into something, into a point potentially, unless the runner is still trying to move, but his steering is busted to all heck. Yeah, DEP coming in with a smash against the runner. How about it? And Detroit doing himself a bit of a victory drive. Looks like the runner here is stopped, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like the point will be given to Detroit, which has finally turned that third place into something to be proud of.
Well, Detroit, 6 points. We can't eliminate him. DEP scored a point. We can't eliminate him. Well, this is a very interesting way to end this round.
I fully agree. This is a very interesting way to end an episode because we pretty much at this point have just about no one to eliminate. Detroit now has 6 points and is tied for, I think, fourth. Yeah, he's tied. He's actually broken away from that tie with Berryman. He's now tied with Transit Police. Detroit is now in third place alongside Transit Police. He has broken that, and he now has 6 points.
Yeah,
And-
Detroit gets the point, and we'll talk about the other cars now. I'm
Yeah,
kind of disappointed with Interceptor and Mississippi. It was a regular round where they're normally battling for each other, which means one of them would get the point, and you know who didn't get the point? Neither of them.
I fully agree. Police Interceptor in Mississippi have not managed to learn from these particular mistakes. They consistently like to do this. They almost consistently feed points to the other competitors. Yeah, Police Interceptor having lost that lead as well, and Mississippi having currently holding that lead, but still hasn't really managed to. I don't just put in the effort to show that they've really earned it. I don't know. They've made a lot of rookie mistakes in the past few episodes, despite holding those particular positions.
Yeah, and let's see, we got DEPs here too. He hit the runner at the end, even though he was completely still, but it was still kind of cool to see.
DEP Police, yes, T-bones the runner at the very end, proving once again that Velasco, the frickin' Velasco, the legacy of Velasco, proving once again that you can actually make things happen while you're in last place. DEP Police. Oh, Berryman in the ditch of all places. I wonder how that happened. Berryman, very unfortunate for him. So he loved round 32 so much he wanted to just go off and recreate it for himself. Yeah.
Wait, he might be actually set up for a head-on collision here. Maybe because like
That's true. Berryman could have been set up for a head-on collision potentially as well, but then Mississippi once again did the pit at the beach turn.
you know, this episode should be like the return of the ditch turn because like
episode 11, the return of the ditch.
and yeah, let's check on the other cars. Ooh, that's a disappointment right here. A pretty big disappointment.
A bit of a huge disappointment. However, their car does look pristine, but I do believe that their engine is hydrolocked because they were in the water for a while. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment from school safety. Yeah, but at the same time, bit of a disappointment from school safety, I gotta say.
Yeah, it was everyone's time to shine, and he was the one who didn't shine.
I agree. It was pretty much everyone's time to shine here, and school safety did not shine. Pretty unfortunate, however. I'm a little bit on the fence about them being, well, actually,
Well, we do have other cars to go through. We'll go through them also.
that is true. We do have other cars to go through. Transit Police, former champion of the 15-round tournament, in 6th place, now tied with, in third place with 6 points, tied with Detroit. Hasn't really managed to pull out a lot of the skills and abilities that they usually have in the past several episodes, but the fact that they are in 3rd place should prove that they are indeed worth it, and they can probably manage to pull that at some point. I don't know. Yeah, Transit Police a little bit. Oh wait, it's fine. JTF, it's fine. And JTF here in the forest. Where is this? Is this the forest turn? Or is there someone else? Ah, the long straight. Okay, yeah, the long straight. The long straight, unfortunately, proving to be a bit of a problem for JTF. However, JTF definitely a fierce competitor in that last place position. Just wasn't his round today. Yeah, it was his round earlier, but it wasn't his round today for this one.
And that is, what are we on? That is Detroit. DEP, and that's all the cars. So, what do you think about this one? Who should we eliminate?
I'm thinking that school safety should be eliminated. That had a cup. I'm personally thinking that school safety should be eliminated. I believe that they have had a couple of pretty good performances in their episodes, but they just haven't really managed to keep it consistent. So I don't know. Consistency is usually what you want. You want pretty good consistency or a high point standing from cars to not be eliminated. And school safety has neither of those things. I believe school safety has neither of those things. They just have a couple of points, and I don't know. I believe they should. And being a disappointment, yeah, the freaking round of the underdogs. I believe that episode. I think they should be eliminated. Yeah, I agree.
We went into round 33. 3 cars were in risk of elimination, and let's check on for 2 of the cars. They're right here with the runner, and both of them hit the runner. And one of the cars is here.
I fully agree. Several cars were on the block for elimination, and in the end, school safety unfortunately went for a bit of a drink in the ocean, trying to teach his trying to teach his students not to drive into the ocean if you have a car, because that's kind of, sort of, a little bit unhealthy for the engine.
And honestly, I agree. I believe school safety should be eliminated. We will have a word back from our judges momentarily.
It looks like the word is back from our judges, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, this will be the final episode with school safety because they officially have been eliminated from the tournament. DEP Police sees themselves a point, Detroit sees themselves a point, and tie themselves up with Transit Police. And school safety, unfortunately, was not able to make pretty much anything happen in this game, despite a few pretty relatively respectable performances. And in any event, that will do it for episode 11 of the Grand Marshal Grand Tournament, ladies and gentlemen. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator, Devion. And what an amazing episode we've had. But unfortunately, the time has come for us to sign off. And we'll see you next time.